The discovery. The holographic display flickered as Admiral Reeves studied the latest casualty reports. 3 more colony ships lost, 5 defense platforms destroyed, 8,000 civilian deaths. The numbers kept climbing as the Vector Dominion pushed deeper into our star system. Humanity was being methodically exterminated, and everyone in the war room knew it. "We have 18 days before they reach Earth's orbital defense grid," said Colonel Harris, her voice steady despite the gravity of her words. "After that, maybe another week before planetary bombardment begins." Admiral Reeves nodded grimly. "And our fleet? Scattered. Outnumbered 6-1. We're fighting delaying actions at Jupiter and Mars, but it's only buying time." Dr. Maya Chen sat silently at the far end of the conference table, listening to humanity's death sentence being read aloud. As head of the Archaeological Technology Division, she wasn't typically included in these high-level military briefings. But today was different. "Dr. Chen," Admiral Reeves said, turning his weathered face toward her, "I'm told your team has found something that might matter." Maya stood, her heart racing. This was her moment, perhaps humanity's only chance. 3 months ago, my team discovered a sealed facility beneath the lunar surface. Pre-unification era, approximately 300 years old. It was deliberately hidden, shielded from scans in ways we still don't fully understand. She activated her tablet, and the holographic display shifted to show a massive hangar buried a kilometer beneath the moon's surface. In the center sat a machine unlike anything the military officers had ever seen. "We call it the Tropper. It appears to be a weapons platform, but its technology is extraordinary, far beyond anything from its time period. We believe it may have been a prototype that was abandoned when the Earth Unification Treaties banned weapons of mass destruction." Colonel Harris leaned forward, skeptical but interested. "If it's so powerful, why wasn't it used during the colony wars, or against the Vector when they first appeared?" "Because no one knew it existed," Maya replied. "The facility was completely sealed, and all records of the project were erased. We only found it because of a gravitational anomaly detected by the new lunar survey satellites. Someone went to enormous lengths to hide this machine." Admiral Reeves studied the image. "Can it be operated? Is it functional?" Maya hesitated. "Partially. We've managed to activate some systems, enough to know that its weapons capabilities exceed anything in our current arsenal. But there are complications." "What kind of complications?" the Admiral demanded. "The control systems are biomechanical. It doesn't just need an operator. It needs a symbiont, someone willing to connect with it." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. "Connect how, exactly?" Colonel Harris asked, her voice sharp with suspicion. "The machine interfaces directly with the human nervous system. It was designed to be partly autonomous but guided by human decision-making. A partnership of sorts." Admiral Reeves stood, his face grim. "And you're volunteering for this, I assume?" Maya nodded. "I've studied it more than anyone. I know its systems, its capabilities. If anyone has a chance to make it work, it's me." The debate raged for hours. Some officers argued that conventional weapons were their only reliable option. Others insisted that the risk of unknown technology was too great. But as reports of more Vector victories flooded in, the decision became inevitable. 3 days later, Maya stood in the ancient lunar hangar, staring up at the Tropper. Its sleek form towered 30 meters high, a fusion of angles and curves that somehow appeared both ancient and futuristic. Its surface was a deep gunmetal gray that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "Final systems check complete," announced Dr. Nakamura, Maya's chief engineer. "We're as ready as we'll ever be." Maya nodded, struggling to keep her fear from showing. "Open the access port." A seam appeared in the machine's torso, widening into an aperture just large enough for a human to enter. Within was a chamber that looked more like a medical pod than a cockpit, lined with neural interface nodes. "Vital signs are steady," said Dr. Ling, monitoring Maya's biorhythms. Remember, at the first sign of neural incompatibility, we abort. Maya stepped into the chamber, lying back as the neural interfaces aligned with her spine, wrists, and temples. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Begin the connection sequence. The first sensation was cold, a liquid coolness spreading from each contact point. Then came the pain, sharp and electric, as the ancient machine probed her nervous system. Maya bit back a scream, her body arching involuntarily. "Neural spike," shouted Dr. Ling. "Heart rate climbing, brain activity off the charts." "Don't stop," Maya gasped. "I can handle it." The pain intensified, then suddenly transformed into something else entirely. A vast, expanding awareness. Maya could feel the Tropper's systems integrating with her consciousness, ancient circuitry linking with her neural pathways. Information flooded her mind, weapons capabilities, defensive systems, propulsion technology that defied modern physics. And something else, something unexpected, a presence. "It's alive," she whispered, her voice transmitting through the external speakers. Not artificial intelligence, something more. The Tropper systems came online one by one, power readings climbing as dormant technology awakened after centuries of hibernation. The massive machine hummed with energy, slight movements rippling across its surface as it recalibrated. Then the alarm sounded. "Proximity alert," shouted Lieutenant Kaminsky from the security station. "Multiple contacts in lunar orbit. Vector signatures." Panic erupted in the control center. "How did they find us?" demanded Colonel Harris through the communication link. "The facility is shielded." Maya felt the answer through her connection with the Tropper. The power signature. "They detected the power surge when we activated the main systems." "Can you fight?" Colonel Harris asked urgently. "Is it combat ready?" Maya reached deeper into her connection with the machine, searching for weapons controls. "Not yet. We need more time. The weapons systems are still initializing." On the tactical display, a dozen Vector warships moved into attack formation above the lunar surface. The first bombardment struck moments later, massive energy beams tearing into the moon's crust. "They're targeting the facility," Dr. Nakamura shouted as the chamber shook violently. Structural integrity at 60% and falling. Maya felt the Tropper's response. A surge of defensive protocols activating. "Everyone get to the emergency shelters. Now." As the research team scrambled for safety, Maya surrendered herself more completely to the machine. Her consciousness expanded further, merging more deeply with the ancient system. Together, they began to move. The ceiling of the hangar exploded inward as Vector energy weapons breached the final layer of lunar rock. Through the Tropper sensors, Maya could see the enemy ships hovering above, sleek, predatory vessels bristling with weapons far more advanced than humanity's. Perfect targets. The Tropper's arm swung upward, fingertips separating to reveal a glowing aperture. Energy gathered, condensed, and then discharged in a blinding stream that speared through the vacuum and sliced a Vector cruiser in half. The remaining ships reacted instantly, concentrating their fire on the emerging threat. Energy beams hammered the lunar surface, vaporizing rock and metal alike. Maya felt each impact through the Tropper's defensive shields, advanced technology absorbing and dissipating the enormous energies. But not completely. Damage reports flashed through her consciousness. The Tropper was powerful, but not invulnerable, especially in its partially activated state. "We need to retreat," she transmitted to Colonel Harris. "I can't fight them all yet." "Fall back to Earth orbit," came the reply. "We'll cover you with what we have." Maya felt the Tropper's reluctance, an ancient combat protocol urging attack rather than withdrawal. She pushed back against it, asserting her human judgment. After a moment's resistance, the machine complied. With a tremendous leap, the Tropper burst from the ruined lunar facility, propulsion systems engaging. As they soared away from the moon's surface, Maya caught glimpses of the Vector ships pursuing, their weapons lancing through the void. The journey to Earth would take hours, even with the Tropper's advanced drive systems. Hours during which Maya would need to maintain the neural connection, learning the machine's capabilities while staying one step ahead of their hunters. And somewhere in the depths of the Tropper's ancient systems, that strange presence watched and waited, its true nature and purpose still unknown. The awakening. Maya awoke to darkness and the taste of blood in her mouth. The neural connection with the Tropper had gone silent, leaving her mind eerily empty after the vast awareness she had experienced. Emergency lighting flickered weakly, revealing the damaged interior of the machine's control chamber. "Status report," she croaked, unsure if anyone could hear her. To her surprise, a voice responded, not through communications equipment, but directly in her mind. "Primary systems damage. Defensive capabilities at 38%. Offensive systems offline." Maya froze. Who's speaking? "I am the Tropper's operational intelligence. You may call me Sentinel." "You're an I?" Maya asked, trying to make sense of this new development. "No, I am a consciousness imprint, the last gift of my creator." Before Maya could process this revelation, external communications crackled to life. "Dr. Chen, do you read me?" It was Colonel Harris, her voice tight with urgency. "I'm here," Maya responded, wincing as pain lanced through her skull. "What happened?" "Vector ambush. They were waiting in Earth orbit. Our defense fleet engaged, but it was a slaughter. The Tropper took heavy damage before we lost contact." A pause. "You crashed in the Atacama Desert. We're scrambling recovery teams, but the Vector are dropping ground forces. They want the machine, Maya." Maya struggled to sit upright, taking stock of her situation. The neural interfaces were still connected, but the flow of information had diminished to a trickle. "How long was I unconscious?" "Almost 6 hours. The Vector have begun preliminary bombardment of major cities. Civilian casualties are..." Harris's voice broke. "We're looking at extinction, Maya, unless that machine can do something." Through her tenuous connection, Maya sensed the Tropper's damaged state. "The weapons systems are offline. We took too much damage." "Can they be repaired?" The presence, Sentinel, answered in Maya's mind. "Yes, but it requires a deeper integration. The current neural interface is incomplete." Maya hesitated, understanding the implication. "What happens to me if I agree to a deeper integration?" "The boundary between human and machine will blur. You will remain yourself, but also become something more. It was the design intention from the beginning." "And if I refuse?" "Then the Tropper remains disabled, and your species faces extinction. No choice at all, really." "Colonel," Maya said aloud, "I need time. Keep the Vector away as long as you can. We'll do our best, but make it quick." Harris out. Alone with the ancient machine, Maya made her decision. "Initiate deeper integration, Sentinel." This time, there was no pain, only a sensation of falling as her consciousness expanded exponentially. Information flooded her awareness. Technical schematics, combat protocols, and something unexpected. Memories, not her own, but those of the machine's creator. Images flashed through her mind. A civilization far more advanced than present-day Earth, a devastating war against an implacable enemy, a last-ditch effort to create a weapon that could turn the tide. The Tropper had not been built by pre-unification humans, as she had believed. It was much older. "You understand now," Sentinel's voice echoed in her mind. "We are the legacy of those who came before. The guardians they left behind." "They were human?" Maya asked, struggling to comprehend. "They were your ancestors, an advanced civilization that fell, their knowledge lost in the collapse that followed their final war. They built me as their last hope, but I was completed too late. They hid me here, on this lifeless satellite, hoping their descendants might one day need my protection." The truth resonated through Maya's being. The mysterious technologies, the biomechanical interfaces, The gaps in Earth's archaeological record, all pieces of a forgotten chapter in human history. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner, when the Vector first appeared? I was dormant. The awakening protocols required specific conditions, a threat of extinction, a compatible symbiont, and the rediscovery of my resting place. You fulfilled the final condition. As they conversed, Maya felt the Tropper's systems repairing themselves, drawing energy from sources she couldn't comprehend. The damage from the Vector attack was being methodically addressed, broken components reconfiguring into new forms. The weapons, she said. Can they be brought back online? Yes, but first, we must complete the transformation. Maya felt her physical body changing, adapting to the deeper connection. Nanomachines flowed through her bloodstream, restructuring neural pathways, enhancing cellular functions. She should have been terrified, but instead felt only a profound sense of purpose. We are ready, Sentinel announced as the final systems came online. The Tropper rose from the desert floor, sand cascading from its massive form. Through its enhanced sensors, Maya could see Vector dropships descending through the atmosphere, carrying invasion forces. Further away, their capital ships continued the bombardment of Earth's cities. They hadn't noticed the Tropper's reactivation. Not yet. Maya reached for the weapons systems, now fully integrated with her consciousness. The options were staggering. Energy projectors that could vaporize mountains, gravitational manipulators that could tear ships apart atom by atom, defensive fields that bent space itself. Let's introduce ourselves, she said, feeling Sentinel's agreement resonating through their shared consciousness. The Tropper launched skyward, propulsion systems leaving a trail of superheated air. They broke through the cloud layer in seconds, accelerating toward the first cluster of Vector dropships. The enemy detected them too late. A sweep of the Tropper's arm released a cascade of energy that transformed 5 dropships into expanding clouds of vapor. The remaining vessels scattered, emergency transmissions flooding the communication spectrum. They're calling for reinforcements, Sentinel observed. Good, Maya replied. I want their full attention. The Vector responded precisely as hoped. Capital ships broke off their bombardment of Earth's cities, turning their overwhelming firepower toward the single challenger that had emerged from the planet's surface. Energy beams converged on the Tropper from a dozen directions. Maya felt Sentinel activating defensive protocols she hadn't yet mastered. Fields that bent the incoming attacks away, absorbing and redirecting their energy. Then they struck back. The Tropper's primary weapon system channeled power from dimensions beyond normal space, condensing it into a beam of pure annihilation. The first shot cut through 3 Vector warships as if they were made of paper, their advanced shields offering no more resistance than fog. Panic spread through the enemy fleet. Ships that had been methodically destroying Earth's defenses now broke formation, some attempting to regroup, others beginning emergency jump preparations. They're trying to escape, Sentinel noted. The leadership vessel is initiating a hyperspace jump. Maya focused on the massive command ship at the fleet's center. Not happening. The Tropper extended both arms, generating a field that distorted the fabric of space around the Vector flagship. Their jump engines flared and died, prevented from accessing the hyperspace threshold. This is Dr. Maya Chen of Earth. She broadcast on all frequencies. Your invasion is over. Withdraw your remaining forces immediately, or be destroyed. The Vector commander's response came in the form of a desperate, all-out attack. Every remaining warship fired simultaneously, pouring enough energy into their target to shatter a small moon. Maya felt the strain as the Tropper's defenses absorbed the onslaught. Even with its advanced technology, there were limits. Damage reports flickered at the edges of her consciousness. We can't sustain this indefinitely, Sentinel warned. We don't need to, Maya replied, channeling power into the Tropper's secondary weapons array. Dozens of smaller energy projectiles erupted from the machine's frame, each homing in on a different Vector vessel. Unlike the main weapon's destructive beam, these were precision instruments, targeting propulsion systems and weapons arrays with surgical accuracy. One by one, The enemy ships went dark, disabled but not destroyed. Only the flagship remained combat-capable, and it had ceased firing, its commander finally recognizing the futility of continued resistance. "This is Supreme Commander Vexter of the Dominion Fleet," came the reply. "We acknowledge your unexpected capabilities. The Dominion will withdraw to discuss terms." Maya sensed the deception immediately, feeling Sentinel's confirmation through their link. The flagship was diverting power to its main cannon, preparing a final, catastrophic attack. "Commander Vexter," Maya responded calmly, "your time for discussions has ended." With a thought, she activated the Tropper's most devastating capability, not a weapon, but a manipulation of quantum reality itself. The space around the Vector flagship seemed to fold inward, creating a localized discontinuity. For a brief moment, the massive vessel existed in two states simultaneously, and then in neither. When space normalized, nothing remained but scattered particles. The remaining Vector ships, witnessed to their flagship's fate, began immediate withdrawal. Damaged vessels were abandoned as the survivors initiated emergency jumps, fleeing the solar system in disarray. Within an hour, Earth's skies were clear of enemy craft for the first time in months. Colonel Harris's voice came through the communications link, thick with emotion. "Dr. Chen." "Maya, what just happened? Did we win?" Maya gazed at the Earth below, beautiful and wounded but still alive. Through her connection with the Tropper, with Sentinel, she sensed the vast potential of their partnership. The ancient technology could heal as well as destroy, build as well as break. "We won this battle," she replied. "But the Vector will return, and they won't be alone." This was just the beginning. "The beginning of what?" Harris asked. Maya felt Sentinel's presence intertwining with her own, ancient wisdom merging with human determination. Together, they turned the Tropper toward Earth, beginning their descent to a world forever changed. The beginning of remembering who we really are.